Well, hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining today. I am really excited. I've got with me Carlos Henriquez, and today we're going to talk about waste. And we thought it'd be nice, especially Carlos thought it might be nice. We just had a bit of a conversation rather than just straight chatting to you. So that's why I'm here. But a little bit more about Carlos. He's the co-owner of several restaurants here in Helsinki, Finland, one of which is called Nolla, which is maybe the best known one. And Nolla has actually been rated as one of the most sustainable restaurants in the world. So they take sustainability and waste really, really seriously. And Carlos is going to go through a little bit more about what sustainability means to them. And then as well, he'll talk about their 5P approach and how we can use that both in a business context, but then also for individuals at home.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the introduction.
Sure.
Thanks for spending your time with us, guys. I really appreciate you coming here to hear me. So I'm a chef. I'm from Portugal, and I will start by explaining actually how we reached to Nolla. So we started actually with a problem. So we just realized at a certain point, that is 5 years ago, 6 years ago, there was too much waste on the restaurant industry. So that's where I worked then. And we thought that we should do something about it. It's really hard to know where to start, but we just realized that we needed to be more sustainable. And the next step was what the sustainability even means. You know, it's a overused word that has lost quite much of the meaning. So it was important for us to define it. And when defining it, we actually realized that sustainability is about keeping the world a place where we can live. And so it's not about saving the planet. It's about keeping the planet good for us. So we are doing this for ourselves. Then next was, where do we even start? Sustainability, it's everywhere. It's from the laptop that you are using to watch this presentation, the electricity that is using, the clothes that we have here. So it's such a big thing that it's hard to feel that you are good, so that you are even sustainable. So we realized that to do good, you just need to be good. You need to start somewhere. So don't try to be perfect, just start. So this is, on a nutshell, how we reach to the beginning of Nolla.
Cool. So we've kind of started with the problem. I guess we all kind of know what the problem is. And then this idea of what does sustainability even mean? And that it's important to just start somewhere. But then how, I guess, is the big question, which is where you come in to tell us a little bit more about your process.
Yeah, so we made this 5P structure to run the restaurants and our companies. And it's actually quite simple when you think about it. But the first P of these 5 Ps that I will explain is actually planet. And here is very simple. It's just for us to understand that planet it's round. It's actually not flat. Even that some people around there are saying that. So it's round. So what you do in one side, the actions actually affecting the other. And we are all on this little blue planet together. So it's important that we understand that. So that's the first 5P. Then the second P, it's people, because people are important. People is the main reason why you are doing this. And when I mean this, it's everyone, not only for your team, because they need to be together with you on this. Everyone needs to have the same mindset if you want to pursue sustainability as one of your goals, but also your guests, also the people that supply, also your investors, anyone that is in the business needs to be valued and also included on this together. Then the next P will be product. There's no way that you can use sustainability as a lack quality on the product that you are doing. It doesn't matter what you are doing. You can be doing the most sustainable food in the world. If it's not good, no one will come. I mean, I often give the examples of Tesla's. I don't know if they are sustainable or not, but definitely people are buying Teslas also because they are cool, they are fast. They are not buying them only because they are sustainable. And then the next P will be profit, because we do need to make profit. But here, what is important to acknowledge is that this is one of the 5 Ps of the structure. So it's important as people, is important as planet, it's important as product. So profit cannot come over others, but it does need to be considered in the equation, because otherwise you won't have your company running for very long. And then one of the last P, and here we're gonna stay for a little while, it's actually process. And on the process, I thought to actually explain a little bit. Please tell me if I'm
No, this is great.
if I'm going very fast or something. But here I thought to explain a little bit what we actually do inside of the restaurant, so that you hopefully can use the same ideas in your own business. But I will explain this from my side as a chef, as a restaurateur. So when we look for ingredients, we first thought that they should be local. This is quite straightforward, but we thought they should be classified in travel time, not in country, which is something that quite often used. So we buy Finnish products, Estonian products, since we're located in Helsinki. I don't know if we mentioned, or Sweden, but we try that the products travel as little as possible. Then as next thing, we will actually talk about where do we get our products. So we try always work directly from the supplier. We realize that quite often the middleman is the one that is more interested in the packaging. If you do this, you not only probably save packaging, you save traveling time, but you also get way more connection with you are buying. And also we were earlier speaking that you actually understand seasons. You understand when you probably will buy your honey, when you probably, because your honey producer might not have honey all year round, or when is garlic season, and
Can you tell us?
Yeah, of course. I mean, honey is in the end of the summer, and garlic season goes here in Finland until February, March. So if you want to use garlic until then April, June, you need to have garlic somewhere stored. Otherwise, you won't have any garlic. So with this will help you to also make menus at home, because by having products that are local and that travel less, they tend actually to taste better. And isn't great if we can get a product that is more sustainable, local, and tastes better. I think that's what we kind of all go for. Then as the next thing, I would like to talk more how we can actually change things and make real change in the community where you guys live. So here we have a little bit of our fish example. So fish normally for any restaurant comes in styrofoam boxes. So this is a real problem because styrofoam, it's hard to recycle. It's not washable because there's these little holes. So we actually work to develop a packaging which is very, very simple, but we use these very conventional kitchen equipment, and the fish is delivered on this to us. We wash it in a very standard machine that exists in every kitchen at 100 degrees, and it can be used over and over again. Actually, right now, some of the fish companies have changed the way they deliver products, not only for our restaurant, but also for other restaurants in the city. So we thought that we brought real change in this case. Continuing, actually, a quite similar example with the coffee. We spoke with Cafe Roastery in the beginning, and we really liked their coffee, and we wanted delivered to us in a package that can go back and forth. And they actually realized that they deliver coffee to their own coffee places every day. And this didn't make any sense, that they are packaging the coffee and then a few days later, they're opening the coffee, packaging and putting in their own grinder. So having a packaging that would work for their coffees also, or for their coffee places, and for us would make sense also from an economic point. And nowadays, actually, this package works as a standard for most restaurants in Helsinki. And there's not only Cafe Roastery using this, so there's a few roasteries that are actually using this reusable package. Then here, another similar example. This time, we are doing the same with distilleries, with Helsinki Distillery Company. Here we have gin, vodka, and actually aquavit in the picture. So the same thing. The key on what we also want to tell is that, of course, we could just recycle glass bottles, but we try to use recycling as a last resource. So we actually always focus on reusing the packaging first and recycling as a last thing. Yeah,
I think that's such a good point, just for individuals as well. I think often we think of recycling as like something really good for us to do, but if we switch our mindsets a little and think more about reusing rather than recycling, and that recycling should be, like you said, a last resort, I think I've never really considered it that way before. I think
recycling is also really hard and really complex. And if you just think a very simple thing, I'm not even talking about a computer, but if you think about glass, I don't recall the exact number, but it takes hundreds and hundreds of degrees to melt a bottle to make another bottle. So from the logic sense, doesn't make much logic.
Reuse your bottles.
Then here, we try to work with universities, community in general, and here we work with Aalto University. So they have these pottery classes where they are teaching students to make plates, and they most times don't always come the best. So they actually reuse the clay, and they make the plates for our restaurants from reused clay. This is a project that, they started with us, and now they're also continuing. Here, again, another upcycling. So we still serve wine, for example, in our restaurants, and wine is a big source of glass. So here we work with a local company called Evolum, and here there's a few examples of they do way more than this, but here there's a few simple examples that you actually can also see on our restaurant. So we supply the bottles to him, and then we buy the glasses that we use to serve our gin, our water, or even the bottom of the bottles there we use to serve our butter in the restaurant, for example. Then a quite similar example here, we use Yo soap. They make the soap for our toilets from recycled fat that we get in the kitchen. So it's quite interesting when you start doing these projects, the examples that you already find in the market. So we didn't really need to do anything. They came up with a solution for a problem that we already had. We just needed to look.
And I think, like you were saying earlier, all of these examples are kind of like working with like-minded people. So finding those other people who might have a similar mindset, and then you can do more together.
Yeah. Here, there's a very interesting example, I think. So here is the main source that we use for cleaning and disinfecting in the kitchen. So it's actually ozonated water. It cleans 99% of the bacteria in the kitchen. It's not harmful for skin, for products, so you can actually use it to wash your potatoes. And I mean, it's almost free. So you just have this small equipment that takes ozone from the air and puts it on the water. So it not only help us to save a lot of money, but also is safer from our workers. And here was really just about to maybe, breaking things that you have done over and over again. We always have used the soap to wash certain things in a certain amount of ways. So just really look for new solutions and break what you do every day. I think that's very important. Here we also have our software. I think actually is in Finnish, but we record all the waste that we produce in the restaurant. So even that we try over and over, do many things to try to avoid waste, we still end up with some waste. So with that said, before anyone threw anything on our bio waste, they need to record a few things. Who they are, what are they throwing away, how much, and yeah, I believe that's it. And why this is important is that we discover in early stages, when even making the software with a Wikimestari, that actually just by recording your waste, you tend to waste 50% less. So something that I encourage, it's at home, in your offices, wherever you are, to just put a small piece of paper in your fridge, and you write not only your shopping list, but you write your waste list. So every time that just threw something away, just grab a pencil and write, 2 oranges rotten, and it will really help you to have a conscience of what you are throwing away and why. Yeah,
Love that.
Then manage your fridges. This is a pristine fridge from our restaurant, and here the first thing probably you can see is that we don't buy anything in single-use packaging. But the most important thing that I wanted you to take out of here is how we actually organize the fridge. So we have see-through. See-through really helps you so that you have an idea of the products that you have. If you have containers, the labeling would really help, date and what is there. We all know that we put leftovers in the fridge, and then we pump them somewhere, and then we forget it for a week until we need to throw it away. And then the other thing is that if there's something that you probably know that's going to happen, or if there's something that you don't like or that you tend to throw away, they should be in the front of the shelf and in a very visible place. So by you realizing every time you open the fridge that thing there will probably go off, you are way more likely to use it. Then also, this is how we approach the ingredients, and I think this will translate also not only for homes, but even for I think everything that you do, is that we actually questioning if we get a carrot or a potato or whatever it is, do we really need to peel this ingredient? Is it worth it? Why would we peeling it in the first place? Should we use the green part of it? If not, why not? Why are we not using the green part of the carrots? Does it taste good? How can we transform it? So the waste starts by actually just trying to use the whole product. Simple is the best. Then we still have our compost. We're still in the process, so I'm just basically giving you a few clear examples of many things that we do in the restaurant. We could be here all day, but here there is also our compost machine. So in our restaurant, actually very visible from the dining room, we have our garbage room, which is our compost machine. And here we threw all the bio waste in a way that we wanted to close the loop. So this is a machine that can compost 24 kilos in 24 hours. So we actually emptied once a week, and this is very handy because we emptied on Mondays, and on Mondays is actually when most of our producers come. So they can take the compost back to their farmers and use as a fertilizer. Then we have an example of our clothes. We use this company called Tauko. It's a Finnish and Estonian company, and here we have an example of they actually buy old bed linens from hospitals. They color them, and they make these clothes. And I think clothes is a big part, or textile industry of our daily lives. So it's very important to consider on your action day to day, because there's no business that works without them. And then here is a very important slide, because this is actually from a person that deliver us these actually birds from hunting season, and we speak very much with our suppliers. We really try to have a connection with them, but even when we try to have like-minded people to work with us, and we explain our concept over and over, because we have normalized waste and packaging so much, there's still people that will not understand what we are doing. So if you decide go in the same or catch the same ideology, it's very important that first you don't open exceptions. So in this case, we needed to send it back. We cannot take a product like that in our restaurants, but also be very, very clear about why you are doing it and what you are trying to achieve. And they do get mad the first time when you send products back, but they actually turn to respect you in the end, because then they think, oh, okay, so these guys are actually for real. They're actually really doing this. They are just not saying it. And this leads sometimes that they are even the ones that come up with great ideas how to package their product, or how to find more sustainable sources for your own restaurant.
I love this, company. Like this example, and then as well with the coffee and with the fish. I think it's such like a good example of how your actions then influence like an industry or influence the community around you, which I think is such an important takeaway in all of this as well, that like just by doing something, it has a ripple effect and it can cause other people to change too. And then you were saying earlier about this as well, like repetition. Like they may not get it the first time, but you have to keep saying it, which I think is also really, really important.
No, for sure. And I mean, that's why I'm here, so that I can so that I can tell a little bit what I go through, my story, so that you guys can take it, for your own lives. And so now I would like just to sum up a little bit what we went through. This is actually a picture of the restaurant, and here you can see the composter, as I said. So the composter there in the corner of the restaurant. The idea is to normalize what we are doing, so that when you walk at Nolla, we don't want you to think that you are walking in a recycling center. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to serve you excellent food with excellent service on hopefully a place that you enjoy. And I think that can be passed for exactly what you do, in the way that the sustainability, it's actually behind our process, but then when the customer sees, they actually see the product and what they are being served, and which we expect it to be with high quality.
Awesome.
And that's it.
Great. I think we have a bit of time for questions, but correct me if I'm wrong, Louisa. I'll stop sharing now.
Does anyone has any questions, guys? Please don't be afraid of asking. I'm okay.
He's a nice guy.
Don't be afraid of questioning what I do.
I just wanted to say thank you so much. I actually have to jump to another meeting, but what you're doing is super inspiring and love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't know if I missed a bit at the beginning, but I did want to know if you had any like patrons who have changed as a result, or have you talked to any customers that have kind of changed their attitudes and their ways?
I think at the moment, the people that we change the most are the people that work with us. I have gotten this comment that is really weird for them when they go to a regular kitchen and they see the amount of waste. And also, I gotta say, when I go, Helsinki is a very small city. So when I go to visit my friends, because many of them have regular restaurants, they became a little bit embarrassed of their waste. So I think that's the main change that we are doing. So maybe not so much with our customers. We're also very cautious about passing the sustainability side for our customers. But I think in the industry, I already saw real change.
Lovely presentation. Thanks for it. I think I missed like which one was the fifth P?
Yeah, so that was process. So it was planet.
Oh,
yeah. So planet, people. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for that.
No.
One question what I have is like, how do you measure and keep like, how do you say that, okay, this is consistent? It must be really tough.
Yeah, we actually have used several softwares, which is funny. But actually the one that we use, so there are now very advanced softwares that recognize even food with the camera, and we actually don't use those. We go back to the basics because we realize that is a little bit more reliable. So I will try to explain it really fast, but we don't have the regular garbage bins that you would see in the kitchen. So our garbage bins are individual and they are see-through. So every chef have a very small garbage bin on their station. This means that you are accountable for the garbage that you produce at any point of your day, because I will be passing anyone, so we actually see what you are throwing away. And then when you go to this composter to throw away, there's a scale just connected with an iPad, and you answer to these 4 questions, and then you throw it away. So we made it very easy with some technology, but we kind of found this middle way, not too much.
Amazing. Yeah, that's the best way, I would say.
Super cool. Okay.
Thank you.
No, Carlos, thank you so much. I've gotten to hang out with him a bit more. So
Yeah.
there was just so much stuff he was telling me, and I wish we could tell you everything. But yeah, of course, we can share his slides. And if there's any follow-up questions as well, definitely please reach out because we can share more.
And if you come to Helsinki, please visit me.
Yes, I've eaten there. It's very good. I've been twice already.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know. Well, I didn't tell you last time I went, but
Nice.
thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, guys.